Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for having me, folks. Fridays equals Q&A day. So what can I say? Thank you for the questions as usual, man. You lot came, have to mute the ones with my handwriting because my handwriting is dead. But you guys came hard as usual, bro. Like, look how much questions is there. Obviously, the light isn't trying to be my friend right now, but hella questions, people. So let's crack on, man. Let's not waste any more time, man. Let's just get straight into it because there's a lot of questions, man. So yeah, I don't know where to start. Let's not start from the bottom. Let's start from the top. Um, Tayyib Hussein asks, "Is my guy? Shout to you. Deluded, do you think we can get top four next season?" Well, I've always believed we can get top four. Not on the basis of how we've been performing for the last 18 months. What I mean by that is I believe everybody in the top six can win the league, and by that logic, they should be able to get top four in the sense that if Spurs end up not winning the league come May next year, Arsenal, regardless of how crap we are, Liverpool, Chelsea, all of these sides, like you're a top six side. You've all got different plus points and weaknesses and stuff. So and we've seen in the Prem it's a different winner every year. So I do believe everybody can get top four and things like can win the league. So by that logic, they can get top four. What it comes down to, my guy, I like the additions we were supposedly bringing in. It's a new manager, so we need to see how he implements his tactics and all of them things there. If he implements his tactics expertly, if the boys get behind the manager and the tactics, if the boys learn to fight for themselves, win games they're not supposed to win, not lose when you deserve to lose, fight until you get to the December period and get out of the December period in January in with a chance, then who knows? But my guy, seeing is believing. Biggs asks, is the budget blown now? 20 mil on Leno, 30 on Torreira. Who else could be leaving? In regards to who else could be leaving, I'm not sure, my guy. I do believe there will be, on the fan basis, yeah, that's the budget gone. But I do believe the club might pull something out the hat, or clearly has more money than they're letting us believe and things like that. So yeah, man, I'm inclined to believe that's it. But who knows, man? Iggy Alec asks, shout out to him. Looks like we have signed a right back, goalkeeper, and CDM, and not really defensive mid, my guy, but and a CDM and a centre half. Is it safe to say if we get a winger, then Arsene Wenger was holding us back in the transfer window? Do you agree? Well, clearly Wenger, as much as I like him, or how much anyone would like him, was holding us back in the sense that he wasn't trying to make the changes that needed to happen for the last 5 years specifically. So yeah, you could say that it's nice to see the clubs moving fast, and it's now down to these targets to show their form and things like that. It's nice it's a refreshing thing. I don't know how to put it into words, but it is refreshing seeing our club move quickly, whether we believe in the players we've signed or not, just on the basis of there's a problem, actively trying to fix it, rather than which we've seen wait until the last day of the window where we might have signed Ozil when we did, or the January window, which was better if you remember when we brought in Mertesacker, Santos and Benayoun and all them, man. So yeah, man, he was holding us back in that. If we sign a winger, I'd love a winger, my guy, man, but seeing is believing. And you've also got, and do you consider this transfer window a success, or do you wait and see? It's a bit of both. It's a success on the basis that I can't fault the club. Like I said, in hindsight, these targets or players brought in might not be good enough, but I can't fault the club if we've said we need to go and get a keeper. It's a World Cup here and the window closed early. Fair enough, he isn't at the World Cup, but we've brought in a keeper. I rate Torreira highly, and I didn't see that one coming. It's happened. What else has happened? Socrates looks to have happened. Liechtenstein on experience. Whether I believe in these players or not, just on the basis that these were areas that need to be improved, fair play to the club. I mean, the only time I've really seen the club actively sign players that needed to be signed, and looking back, the window looks poor, but was it the window that Alexis, Sanchez, Welbs and Chambers came in, and Ospina, just on the basis that, especially the goalkeeper, the second choice keeper, that window, I remember we needed specific players and we were linked with Chambers for a while and it was done early. So yeah, man, it's nice to see that the window is being done, and you could classify it as a success on that point. But again, it's a wait until you see. For me, with the players that's come in, the manager and all these things, it's a wait and see. We need to get them clicking. We're not going to see for a couple months what the squad is really made of, but they're going to have to hit the ground running. Look at how we start the season. You've also got, do you think Harry Kane is the best 9 in the world, or do you think it's the English bias pushing that agenda? You could say it's the English bias pushing that agenda. It's the same way that the Portuguese will say Ronaldo's the best player in the world, and the Argentines will say it's Lionel Messi. So while I don't necessarily think Kane is the best striker in the world, for me, definitely has a claim, and it's not an English thing. I mean, you can say what you want, but the man's scoring goals for fun. The man is quality, so he definitely has a chance of being the best out and out 9 in the world. So yeah, my guy, that would be my outlook on that. What else have we got? Jador Wenger asks, maybe selling Jack indicates that we'll play 4-4-2 with two central midfielders because we need less midfielders or something. You can't rule out playing 4-4-2, letting Jack go for free, but I don't really think we're going to play a 4-4-2. We will probably see two strikers, or good chance of seeing Aubameyang and Lacazette play together, but equally they might not, or they should. The manager might do something else. So I do think we might see a variation of two strikers, but I don't necessarily think it'll be a 4-4-2. If at best it'd be a 4-1-4-1, maybe a second striker is given a license to do certain things. I'm not too sure, but yeah. Mike asks his thoughts on Robert Navarro. How good is he compared to our prospects? Well, he's a good player. He's a player at Barcelona Youth Academy. Looks like he's going to Monaco. He's got good movement. He's got excellent technique. He's got decent finishing. He's a player of good. That's got a lot of talent. And Monaco have signed him. They've signed Gilberto. They've signed the young Italian lad from Genoa. They've signed Jabola as well from Barcelona. Ironically, if you remember his great goal in the youth league a few years ago. We've seen them they've let Lamar, etc. go. It seems like another cycle will be coming for Monaco, where they'll get another crop of players that they could sell for big P's, my guy. So yeah, man. Truth884 asks, is deluded. Who? I don't think this really makes sense, my guy. But who are thinking that? What? Who? I'm gonna assume this is in relation to Jack Wilshere, but I'm gonna have to try and make sense of this sentence, my guy. Who are you thinking that is available to replace him? And in regards to I'm assuming this is a question about Jack Wilshere. I'm not too sure, my guy. I don't really think it necessarily needs replacing. And you've also got who is an under the radar 10 that could replace Ozil if he's sold. I'd have to get back to you at that moment in time. You've put me on the spot, my guy. To be fair with you, but yeah, man, it is what it is. Ish Georges asks, hello deluded, the scout king. That's some big praise that I'm not worthy of, my guy, man. There's guys that have been scouting or showed an emphasis on youth players for years, my guy. It's disrespectful for me to sit here and sorry people. Oh, why did I do that? Yeah, it's calm now. It's disrespectful for me to sit here, my guy, and to take that claim, but cool. You've asked, quick question. Just wanted to ask, have you heard of Diarra from Napoli? Just wanted to know your view on him. I like him a lot. I'm assuming you're talking about the midfielder. If you saw him against Manchester City a couple months back in the Champs, he's shown what he's on. I'm surprised. I wouldn't say he's under the radar because everybody knows about him to a degree, but he is under the radar in the sense that you're not really seeing him linked with moves. He's a player I've got a lot of time for. He's good at winning the ball back. He's got fantastic technique, and Napoli might have to sell him for a pretty penny in a few years. So yeah, I like him a lot, man. He would suit us, man. He would suit us a lot. I definitely agree with you. He would do. We've signed Torreira, but that's someone else we could have signed. So I like that shout a lot, man. Bello asks, have you ever thought of doing a live stream on your channel to maybe live react watching the World Cup final or doing live Q&As? Live Q&As possibly in the future. I have done one live vid. I actually deleted it, but I'll get that started if you want. Obviously, I have limited resources in the sense that this is on the phone, have a laptop, so it won't be the best. But if you guys want that, I'll see what I can do with that, my guy. Marble Halls asks, does it matter if we get big names? We're addressing the areas in the team we need to. For me, it doesn't necessarily. For me, what do I always tell you guys? First and foremost, competence. Like, I don't care if you sign a man for 200 million or 2 million. If he's a competent, let's just assume it's a centre half. If it's a competent centre half, it's a competent centre half. Like, there's nothing suggesting. Of course, with the natural bias towards economics and football, it should correlate to if you pay more money for someone, they should be of more quality. They should have better quality. That's how it normally works, whether it's clothes or foods or life in football or life. But it doesn't normally correlate. I'm a big fan of scouts doing your job. If a centre half was able to defend, able to mark, able to be vocal, able to do all these things we need in a centre half, and he signed for 2 million, great. That's great. That is great. Look at Eric Bailly. I rate him a lot. He's rough around the edges. Man United centre half. They signed him. He didn't cost that much. He weren't that exactly cheap, but it didn't cost that much. And then you look at Van Dijk. Now, I'm not saying who's better or who's worse. I'm just highlighting that one was bought for, what, 20 mil max, and one was bought for 75. And there's no clear as to who's better or not. And then you go and look at centre half stat, like I don't know, Koscielny in his prime, maybe not now, or Varane, who wasn't bought for a lot of money and still developing at Madrid. So I definitely believe what you say, man. Obviously, we're fans. When you get big names and stuff, it gasses us. It makes us talk. When we're seeing other clubs signing big players that can make the difference for them, it sounds good and stuff. So I get the fans, but you don't always need big names, my guy. You're right on that. Genius asks his fam, you should start a podcast with rival fans. If you lot want that, then I'll get cooking with that, man. I'm trying to do something like that, but it's been proving tricky, my guy. But we'll keep working. If this vid cuts out, people, part 2 will come up. I'm just letting you lot know from now. Mohammed Bentaleb asks, you think Torreira can hold our midfield? He is very poor physically. He doesn't suit the Premier League. Arsenal are losing their heads with this business. Fair enough, bro. But let's see what he's saying first, man. I've been here with many players, and I think Torreira will be a success. But that's the beauty of football, different opinions, my guy, man. And thanks for your question. Well, it wasn't really a question, but yeah. Scott asks Gelson, Martins, Sarr, Guedes, or any other winger for this example, or do we keep Aubameyang on the left / Mkhitaryan and Lacazette through the middle? My guy, you're not wrong, you're not right. Well, you are right. In the sense that, what do I always say to you guys? Different options. We need to be able to play 4-3-3 with either Aubameyang by himself and 2 wingers, Lacazette by himself and 2 wingers, or for a variation of that where the 2 strikers can play together. Different options give us different games. There might be games where we need Aubameyang and Lacazette on the field, but we also need a wide man to disrupt the opposition in terms of organisation and act as a what's the word? Avenue for the ball or something. Avenue is not the right word, but you get where I'm going with that. Naturally, you don't want Aubameyang on the left or Lacazette. Obviously, at times they can cut in, and it's really overrated in terms of they're going to be out there and they're not going to be able to score goals. They will be able to score goals. We know in today's football, all the teams, all the strikers and attacking players are rotating and things like that. Aubameyang works the channels expertly as well. So yeah, man, who knows? To be fair, what's going to happen? It's a good conundrum to have. But my advice would be not to rule out anything, my guy. Cheers for that, Scott. Mark P asks do you think Unai Emery still needs more signings or good enough to win the top 4? I believe that squad at the moment, assuming these arrivals are coming in that haven't officially been done yet, is good enough to get top 4. It's not good enough to make anyone stand up to be counted, but provided there's some consistency, improved defensively, then there's definitely something there to get top 4. The majority of this squad got top 4 18 months ago, and I say majority, but it's gone now. The majority's gone now. But you get where I'm going with that. Mentality gets you top 4. Like, yeah, you can say Arsenal squad is crap and stuff like that, but if you look at that Spurs side, there they got quality. Look beyond Dele and these man to make the example. Liverpool the same. They've got difference makers. But if it's based on if you just turn up and deal with what you need to deal with and not carry on like how we were carrying away from home, you can match them. Because if I'm Liverpool, Spurs and Arsenal, yeah, Liverpool are clear of Arsenal and Spurs in the sense of the players they're starting to bring in. Them sort of clubs there, they can fight each other. If I'm a Liverpool coach, I'm looking at what Arsenal and Spurs do. Spurs the same, Arsenal the same, and I believe I can take points off them, definitely Arsenal, and I believe I could finish ahead of them, to be fair. Like I said, anyone in that top 6 can get top 4 and win the league, in my humble opinion. It's just down to consistency, getting a run together, and galvanisation. Because when last did we see a title race in the Premier League? Probably, what was the year? City and United. It's been the side who's running away with it at a certain period secures it. As backed up with Leicester, with Chelsea, Manchester City. I'll say they back up the case, but it's exception to the rule in the sense that they're amazing. So you get the point, my guy, man. Of course, you would like of course, if you're asking me, I would like a winger, but I know the money's not there, so I can't ask for these things. But if it was the current squad, I'd say top 4, just about, depending on if they get their act together, man. I've also been asked, Alex asks, do you think with a good pre-season, Maitland-Niles will be ready to replace Wilshere? I think regardless, he's ready to step in. But we need to realise at this age, he's trying to get consistency. And if he gets a run into the side like he has, there's going to be games where he's quality, games where he's bad. He's still a young player, and consistency is the final hurdle to jump over. So I definitely agree, but we need to urge caution with Maitland-Niles. I do believe he's got a big future here. You've also got, if you were Argentina coach, what would your formation and 11 be going into the final game? You put me on the spot here, my bro, but I'd go 4-3-3. I believe you've got to get... I'd actually go for it. I'd play Higuain through the middle, Kun and Dybala, somehow get Messi in some sort of 10 role. Is Banega in that squad? If Banega is in that squad of any capacity, I'd get him in central midfield. I'd probably play Beliga, whatever his name is, in central midfield. The fullbacks and centre-halves is a bit like pick your poison. I'd probably go with Fazio and Otamendi, or Fazio and Mascherano. Yeah, man, it's a bit pick your poison sort of thing, really. But I want to get Pavon into the side, man. Like, yeah, man. I might even go 3 at the back and bring Pavon, to be fair. But, yeah, that's a good question. Put me on the spot there. Their final game with Arsenal will be a tricky one. Truth asks is Pogba for Ozil swap. This is a hypothetical question in relation to my other Q&A. I love Pogba and I love Ozil. I'd swap Pogba for Ozil, of course, man. Like, I don't feel Pogba is where he needs to be as a footballer, but I'd swap him, man, for sure. Scott asks is, oh no, Scott's already asked that. My guy, man. Question was so good, I was going to name it twice. Kieran asks is, thoughts on Banega? For my extended thoughts, go and check out my Q&A. But personally, I'd be up for the signing. He'd bring experience, he'd bring tenacity. He's able to play multi roles in midfield. It would be a short-term sign in the sense that he's turning 30. There's rumours that he's happy in Seville and he doesn't want to move. So we'll see what happens in that regards. But I'd be up for it. And you've also asked Dele Alli in 2015-16 or 16-17. 2015-16. I'm sure that was the year he scored more goals. Was that the year? No, man. Dele's been around for a while. I keep thinking that's his first year for some weird reason, and thinking that's the year he got an England cap when it's not. 2015, what did you say? 2015-16 for sure. 2016-17, it might not back it up, but I do feel he scored goals in both. But I just feel for some reason 2016-15-16 is calling me. And someone else has asked, Uchi's asked me, why do I keep saying asked? If you're scouting a 16-year-old, what do you look for? Well, relative to the age, I'm not going to look for what I would want in a 27-year-old centre-half. I'm not going to want in a 16-year-old. But in relation to a 16-year-old, I want to see bravery, not shouting. I mean, in the sense that, does he want to bring the ball out from the back? Is he scared to play? Obviously, you want to see him committed in a tackle. Obviously, me first and foremost, you want to see competency. So I want to see him. I want to see, is he aware as a centre half, or is he aware of strikers? Does he shuffle across? Does he pass men on? Is his positioning good? Does he cover well? How good does he read the game? How good is he at organising? Does he work well with his centre-half partner? What is he bad at? How can he improve? What will he look like at 18? Where is he physically? Where does he look like he's going physically? These are the questions I'd ask myself if I was watching a 16-year-old centre-half. Hopefully that provides you some help. Med K asks, thoughts on the Copa Libertadores? Champions League equivalent to South America. I must admit I don't watch it religiously, but it is a good competition, man. South Americans, you see them when they come to the World Cup, how passionate about football they are. And yeah, man, it's a fantastic competition. I'd want to win the champs as a player, but it's a decent, prestigious cup. Of course, it's the equivalent. So yeah, Cyrus asked, can Nigeria beat them, Argentina? Based on the current form of what Croatia did, then quite a few sides can beat Argentina. But I do believe Argentina need to fix up in their couple games. Yeah, they need to pattern up. They got Iceland. Have they got Nigeria? Yeah, they got. I swear they got to play Nigeria. I could be wrong, but they've got to fix up against Iceland. So you'd like to think that all them players will be playing better, but it's ironic how Mascherano talked about being disorganised as a side, and Argentina were exactly that. So I'd say Nigeria definitely have a chance. Iceland have a chance. Everybody has a chance against Argentina based on that game. But I don't want to be too reactionary. You also asked, should the Argentina manager be sacked? Probably not now and during the World Cup, even though there's reports, but I would definitely after this tournament. He's playing people in the wrong positions for someone that's meant to be a tactical master. He's doing the wrong things. It doesn't look like the players believe in him. I was looking at Lionel Messi. He looked defeated. Whenever we see Messi defeated, he needs to go, man. It's a mockery. He's having struggled to get to the World Cup. Generally speaking, Argentina, you'd think they'd back up their ideas, and it's been anything but, man. So, yeah. And you also asked, how would you set up Argentina? I've kind of answered this. I'd go 4-3-3. You got to start from the back. So whoever, I'd have to look at the squad people, but the defense would have to be fixed up. I don't know who else they got as a keeper in their side, but no one can be as bad as Willy Caballero. I mean, that man's name's Willy. It tells you everything, fam. Like, it is what it is. Like, surely Martinez, Arsenal's young keeper, Argentine, he can do better than that. Like, what I've been seeing with Willy Caballero, whether it was like in the final, not the final, one of their final friendly games in the 6-1 or so defeat against Spain, the nonsense he did against Croatia, like, he could win Dad of the Year, and yeah, bro, he's a dad, man. But all I can say is, people, we've been here for a minute now, and I've got through all your questions. This is one long-ass video. I apologise, people, but Friday Q&A, as usual. Thank you very much for these questions, people. Let me get out you guys' hair. Deluded, I'm out.